Your hands too, if you have questions. Yes. Yes. Later. Yes. I would raise this question while others are also trying to remember some things faster. Many of us here who came to Norway from the Philippines are nurses, actually. We're nurses in the Philippines. Can you raise your hand? Right there. Okay. We have this issue lately of working in the Sabbath. Yes, which is in our claim as a Seventh-day Adventists, we are following the steps of Christ of being able to help in the health sector even in Sabbath, because it is a need that is being given to the people who need it also. So what is the church's firm stand with regards to working in the Sabbath, especially in the health sector? We have our series at our chiefs of sanitariums all over the world in hospitals. And what is our basis to this, Pastor? Yes.
Well, as you say, we have hospitals and clinics all over the world.
Yes.
Some 600-700 of these.
Whoa.
And as in some countries, they are huge systems. And here people are 6-7 days a week. And you have to provide the service of healing to people whenever, whatever time of the day or week. And you can't do that without having people being there to provide the service. So we have that. As a church, we feel that our business is that of healing.
Healing, yes.
And we will do that all the time. It's not a question of whether it's Sabbath or not. We will meet people where their needs are and provide the healing that needs to be provided. I think, however, that at our hospitals, we've tried to differentiate between services that are non-urgent and can be done, on Monday or any other day of the week for that matter, and that services which are scheduled and are being done on Sabbath are not of that kind. In other words, if you are painting a wall, you wouldn't be doing it on the sand. You may need to provide these services in order to, by some stretch of the argument at least, for the health of the patients. You are refurbishing and you are, decorating the place and caring for electricity and whatnot. So there are issues of things that are done inside the health sector that are not of the same kind of urgent nature. I think that would play into the picture. But providing healing ministry, healing services for people who are ill, we do all the time. And there are some people that say, should I be taking pay for this? And to that, I think it's very important that we don't, with reference to what I was trying to say this morning, let's not use this as a measurement stick of another person's spirituality. She's not as good an Adventist as she should be because she takes the pay for what she does. This becomes a private matter. If you've got real problems with taking pay on the Sabbath, give it as a tithe unto the Lord. It's up to you to make what decisions you will make. But let's just accept each other's genuineness. In your call to healing ministry, you have decided you're going to do it. You serve the Lord, you serve the people, you do the best you can, and you will keep the Sabbath, and as you can keep the Sabbath, and function for Christ in that broad way. But I think it's so important. I return to it. Forgive me if I seem to be re-harping the point. I turn to this here that we really have to resist establishing criteria by which we measure each other's spirituality. I think it's dehumanizing. It goes counter to Christ, and it really is unworthy. We who are supposed to love and accept and support each other and give strength to each other should not engage in tearing each other down by reputation. Okay?
That is true. Yes. Any follow-up question in regards to that? Okay. Yes, I'm Irish, I'm sorry.
Regarding the observance of the 24-hour Sabbath, because in the Philippines we usually have like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sabbath like that. But here in Norway, it's like a different cycle of the night and day. How is that? Are we going from sunset to sunset, or how about in the north of Norway? Sometimes they experience
No sunset at all.
I come from the north of Norway.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Listen, do you want a long speech or? The reason for why you are in the Philippines and really many other tropical areas are looking at 6 to 6 is basically not because it's 6 to 6, but that's when sunset takes place. Basically,
Same in the tropics.
it's the same in tropics. Yeah, in the tropics, basically you're close to it. But it is the principle is sunset to sunset. What do you do in North Norway? And in Alaska. We have probably more Adventists in North Norway than we do in Alaska, so North Norway is a big issue. And it's an issue that the church has looked at very seriously on what is a good way to do this. Let me tell you what we did in my family when I grew up.
Let's hear that next time.
Okay. The difference from 1 week to the next, when you can see when you can measure sunset, is about 22 to 25 minutes from 1 week to the next. Okay. So, and then you come in the late autumn. I found the late autumn in November. You see the sun for the last time, or end of November. You see the sun. It doesn't go, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon. So we would subtract about 25 minutes because the day obviously gets shorter, even if you can't measure it by the visible sun. The day gets shorter because it doesn't reach as high on the horizon, even if it is below your visual horizon. So in my home, we just simply shortened the day. We worked it up to midday, so that by the 20th of December, where you run by which is your shortest day, the Sabbath begins and ends at noon. On Friday, it begins at noon, and it ends at noon on Sabbath.
It would go early from church.
There are times I had to leave. I remember I worked at home for a year after I finished secondary school before I went to college. And I worked in an office, and there were 2 or 3 Sabbaths when I had to leave after Sabbath school so that I could get to work in the afternoon. Now, my family and others with me out there tried to be true to the principle of sunset to sunset. Then there were others who sort of locked it in at 2:30 in the afternoon. And for the next 2 to 3.5 months, when you couldn't see the sun, although some days obviously got shorter than that, they just locked it at 2:30. And then when they come back again in about February 1 or so, they would continue from there on. Well, that was accepted by it didn't create a big hoo-ha in the church. But there were some who said, no, this is too artificial. We will do it from 6 to 6. All the year round. Do it from 6 to 6. That was never accepted. Let me tell you, we had one member in our church, he held to the 6 to 6 for employment reasons. You know, people will do that for social reasons or for employment reasons. He worked for a company.
6-day week.
Yeah. Those were 6-day week. He worked for a company that, and he was getting well up in years. He was in late 50s, touching 60. And pension was an important thing for him. He would be fired if he was going to require to have half Friday off, as well as Saturday off during the week. He would be fired. So he kept it 6 to 6, and the church disfellowshipped him. But to his tribute and credit, he never stopped coming to church. He was a solid church member, paid his tithe. It was as though nothing had changed for him. He came to church, he paid his tithe, he participated in Sabbath school. He was one of the most argumentative men in Sabbath school class that you could find, but he engaged. You know, this was for him important. And he kept Sabbath in this way. Now, Is that a right way to do